Next, NASA says its Voyager 1 probe, the most distant human-made object in the universe, is sending usable information to Earth again after months of spouting gibberish. The spaceship left the solar system in 2012 and is currently more than 15 billion miles from Earth.
For 45 years, Voyager 1 drifted through the silent void until now. A new signal just came through, clear, structured, and impossible to explain. It wasn't a photo. It was an image generated from data, geometric, intelligent, and deeply unsettling. NASA didn't request it, Voyager just sent it, and the systems that received it, some began to malfunction, others mirrored the signal. The image looked back. It responded, said one insider. What if we didn't just send a message into space, but triggered something that was waiting? This isn't a warning, it might be something much worse, and it's already begun. A message from the edge. It started as a routine signal, a faint but stable data stream from Voyager 2, the spacecraft that had been gliding silently through interstellar space for decades. Scientists have grown used to hearing these distant whispers, little updates from a 45-year-old probe. But this time something was different. The transmission wasn't broken, but it wasn't normal either. Voyager 2 sent back a pattern, a cryptic string of data that no one could immediately explain. The structure wasn't random static. It had rhythm, pulse, even what some described as intelligent geometry when plotted visually. At first, Mission Control thought it was a glitch, maybe a software hiccup or hardware degradation. After all, Voyager 2 has been out there since 1977. But the more engineers looked at the signal, the stranger it became. It wasn't failing, it was changing. The data packet resembled intentional encoding, as though it had been formatted according to a system no one had ever seen. It mirrored recursive logic, meaning it reacted to how it was read. It's almost like the signal knew we were watching, one NASA technician said. The strangest part? This anomaly wasn't detected by a telescope, it came straight from Voyager 2 itself. Whatever this signal is, it wasn't found out there. It came from within our own spacecraft, raising the terrifying possibility that Voyager isn't alone. It may have passed near something, or been intercepted. Some researchers believe it might be an interaction, something observing Voyager the way Voyager once observed the planets. Now scientific institutions across the world are scrambling to decode what this pattern means. Could it be the first sign of contact? Could it be interference from an unknown source? Or worse, could Voyager 2 be transmitting something it wasn't designed to understand? But to know how bizarre this moment truly is, we need to understand how Voyager got here. Because this isn't just a spacecraft sending back data, it's the product of one of the most ambitious and daring missions NASA has ever attempted. The origin. Voyager's mission. In the early 1970s, something extraordinary happened. The planets aligned. Literally. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune lined up in a rare configuration that only happens once every 176 years. Scientists realized this unique setup offered an opportunity to slingshot a spacecraft past all four gas giants using their gravity, a cosmic shortcut across the outer solar system. NASA moved fast. They designed two spacecraft, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. Identical in most ways, but built to follow slightly different paths depending on what they discovered. These spacecraft were far from ordinary. Each was equipped with cameras, magnetometers, plasma sensors, and a massive 12-foot antenna dish. They carried nuclear batteries, RTGs, that would power them long after any solar panels would fail. Their mission was clear: visit Jupiter and Saturn, then if possible, continue deeper. Voyager 1 was set on a faster, steeper path that prioritized a close pass of Saturn's mysterious moon Titan. Voyager 2 took a longer route, one that could, if it survived long enough, reach Uranus and Neptune. On August 20, 1977, Voyager 2 launched. Voyager 1 followed 2 weeks later on September 5. Despite the numbering, Voyager 1 would soon overtake its twin thanks to its faster trajectory. From the moment they left Earth, these spacecraft became our farthest traveling explorers, ambassadors to the outer solar system. NASA engineers only hoped for a 5-year mission. Instead, they created machines that would last decades and travel farther than anyone thought possible. Carl Sagan once said, "Voyager will probably be the first artifact of humanity to leave the solar system." That fact alone gives it meaning. But now, over 45 years later, that meaning has evolved. What began as a grand tour of planets may have turned into an unplanned first contact mission. Because now something strange is riding those decades-old radio waves back to Earth. But before we get to the recent image that has scientists shaken, we need to talk about what might have made it possible, a record aboard Voyager that may have invited attention. An interstellar greeting in the form of a golden disk. The golden records and human message. When NASA launched the Voyager spacecraft, they knew the odds of discovery by extraterrestrial life were slim. But still, they wanted to try. So both Voyager 1 and Voyager 2 carried something truly unique, the golden record. A 12-inch gold-plated copper disc, sealed in an aluminum cover with diagrams explaining how to play it. Inside, a time capsule of Earth. Greetings in 55 languages, music, scientific diagrams, sounds of nature, and even a baby crying. The purpose was simple but profound. If any intelligent life form ever found the probe, they'd get a glimpse of who we are. Carl Sagan led the project, stating, "The spacecraft will be encountered and the record played only if there are advanced spacefaring civilizations." But the launching of this bottle into the cosmic ocean says something very hopeful about life on this planet. The message included Earth's location using a pulsar map, ensuring that whoever found it could trace it back to us. For decades it was seen as a poetic gesture, more symbolic than practical. But now, with Voyager 2 sending strange signals, some are re-examining the golden record's role. Could it have been more than a message? Could it be a trigger, something that an advanced intelligence might recognize not just as a greeting, but as an invitation? There's a chilling thought among some in the scientific community. If the recent image sent from Voyager is truly artificial, then maybe it's not the first move. Maybe it's the response. After all, we gave out our address on that record. We even showed how to decode it. If someone, or something, received that map, maybe they sent a message back. And maybe that message is exactly what Voyager is showing us now. And if that's true, then what Voyager sent back in 2023 may not be just an anomaly, it might be the clearest image of something very real. Something we weren't supposed to see. And when we did, everything changed. The grand tour begins. Once Voyager 1 and 2 left Earth, they began the most ambitious road trip in human history. First stop, Jupiter, the giant among giants. It didn't take long for the surprises to start. In early 1979, Voyager 1 arrived at Jupiter and captured the first close-up images of its iconic red spot, its chaotic bands of clouds, and something no one expected, volcanoes erupting on Io. This was the first time scientists had ever seen volcanic activity beyond Earth. Io wasn't just rocky and cold, it was alive, geologically speaking. Enormous plumes of sulfur and gas were erupting into space. Voyager also spotted faint rings around Jupiter, previously unknown. It showed us that rings weren't exclusive to Saturn. Even more surprising was Europa, one of Jupiter's icy moons. The surface was covered in strange lines and cracks, suggesting a hidden ocean below. All of this came from two probes no larger than a compact car, hurtling through space at 35,000 miles per hour. Shortly after, the spacecraft used Jupiter's massive gravity to slingshot toward Saturn. Again, the cameras and sensors delivered jaw-dropping results. The rings of Saturn turned out to be far more intricate than Earth-based telescopes had shown. Voyager found hundreds of ringlets, each made of icy debris, all spinning in perfect harmony. And there were moons, new ones, discovered in real time. Some of these tiny moons acted like shepherds, guiding and sculpting the rings. But for Voyager 1, Saturn would be the last stop. Its course was redirected for a close flyby of Titan, Saturn's thickly shrouded moon. That maneuver flung Voyager 1 out of the planetary plane, setting it on a course for deep space. Voyager 2, meanwhile, had a new goal, the unknown worlds of Uranus and Neptune. targets no spacecraft had ever reached before. But the decision to fly close to Titan didn't just change Voyager 1's course, it changed the entire trajectory of what we would eventually learn. And it opened the door for Voyager 2's extended mission, one that would take it to two of the strangest and most mysterious planets in the solar system. The Titan decision and divergence. Titan, Saturn's largest moon, was an enigma. With its thick orange haze and dense atmosphere, scientists suspected it could resemble a young Earth. So when NASA had to choose between reaching Titan or continuing to Uranus and Neptune, the decision was made. Voyager 1 would sacrifice future destinations to get up close with Titan. It was a trade-off that split the twins and set them on radically different paths. Voyager 1's Titan flyby didn't disappoint. It revealed an atmosphere full of nitrogen, laced with organic molecules, possibly the building blocks of life. But that encounter came at a price. The gravity assist from Titan shot Voyager 1 up and out of the solar system's ecliptic plane. From that moment on, it was no longer a planetary explorer, it was headed toward interstellar space. Meanwhile, Voyager 2 continued on a perfectly planned trajectory aimed at Uranus and Neptune. It needed to survive for years longer than originally intended. If any single system failed, power, thrusters, instruments, the mission would be cut short. But Voyager 2 held together. After successfully leaving Saturn, it stayed within the solar system's plane, enabling a rare grand tour of the outer ice giants. Though both spacecraft were nearly identical, their different paths gave us a more complete view of the solar system. Voyager 1 showed us Titan. Voyager 2 gave us Uranus and Neptune. This divergence is one of the reasons the mission was so successful. Each probe took a unique road, offering radically different discoveries and teaching us things we never would have known if only one had flown. And when Voyager 2 finally reached those distant bluish worlds, it gave us our only close-up views to this day. What it found was colder, stranger, and more violent than anyone expected. And one of those encounters may have set the stage for what Voyager would detect decades later.